Welcome to my latest experiment. This is the big one, the one I've been waiting for all my life.
What is it?
Try to imagine all life as you know it stopping instantaneously and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light.
Oh my God.
The cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
And I am the voice of the voiceless.
And there is no one that does it better.
The Guy and Harley podcast, streaming all over your face.
Perhaps that was the most important part.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Pigville on the internet.
What up, y'all? What's happening? It's been 6 months and my dick ain't having it. If I don't hurry up and get me some ass, I might bust this nut on your TV glass. I'm Harley Neville. Welcome along to the Guy and Harley podcast. That was ICP, The Shaggy Show.
I enjoyed that.
Good.
I feel like there's some parallels there
Parallels to what?
to your life.
Oh, no, that's absolutely, that's just some funny lyrics that I found.
100% lyrics, completely unrelated
Unrelated
to yourself.
to my situation. Completely unrelated.
Hasn't been 6 months since you've had sex.
Well, beginning of February, so you do the maths.
Okay.
So it's close enough for 6 months, I guess.
Pretty close. Pretty close. So, welcome along to the Guy and Harley podcast. I'm Guy Pigden.
And as we've established, I'm Harley Neville. Just going back to...
We've been away for a while.
Yeah, we have. Sorry about that, listeners. But just know, it's only because we're ridiculously busy.
It's been a while since we recorded the last podcast.
It's been a while since Guy sung Creed on the podcast.
Yeah, it has been a while. But, yeah, unfortunately, we've just been super busy. No time. People been people been up and down the country.
Yeah, so, I mean, last episode was the night before we flew down to Wellington.
That's right.
So,
fuck.
I was going down there for Bernie Rao's film, My Lover, My Lazy Boy.
And I was going down to make my pro wrestling debut.
Yeah, which I didn't think I was going to make it along to, but then I did. And it was pretty funny. It was pretty entertaining.
Yep.
And I would say that I was 70% laughing with you. You know? So that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 30% laughing at me.
Well, yeah. There was an element of laughing at you as well. But 70% I was laughing with you. It was
70-30 split?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got to work your way up, right? There's got to be room to grow.
That's right.
But yeah, so no, it was kind of funny. It was at Armageddon, and Armageddon this year in Wellington. I mean, I've only been to Auckland Armageddon, and and when I went, it was in this big, wide open space, a big indoor, wide open space, and you could kind of walk down the aisles, looking at different things, and it was sort of laid out much like a supermarket or something like that, with stalls around, and you could sort of browse the aisles and look at things. This time in Wellington, it was at the Cake Tin, which is a sports arena, and it was indoors, so it was essentially like a giant indoor donut.
Yeah.
A big circle that you walk around, but it's constantly skinny. It's only like... whatever, like 20 meters wide or something like that. I don't know. And so it's like, it's fucking annoying. It's what it is. You try and walk down there and it's like you can't look at anything. There's big queues for everything because everything's all jammed up together. You can't see any good cosplay and you don't even see any celebrities.
Yeah, it's not the greatest design, really. And that venue, I don't think, really suits it that much. So I kind of agree with that, and also for us as wrestlers, we were, sort of on the side, as people just wandered around, which was okay, but then also we didn't like have anywhere to get change or anything like that, so we just kind of had this little tiny boarded off area.
They had like a hospital dividing curtain thing. Yep. That they kind of hid behind.
And that's the thing is, like, we would have to, before and after our matches, just stay there and wait, because you can't come out and like just be like, hey, what's going on? And you could kind of sneak out the back, but it was just there's nowhere to have a sit down. It was just not ideal. I think that venue could do with some change, or they need to open up the middle bit of it or something.
Yeah.
But I had a pretty awesome time. Had an amazing time.
What was so amazing about your time?
Well,
in Wellington,
just a lot of fun. A lot of fun doing the wrestling. Like, I wasn't sure how much I would be wrestling because I'm a rookie. But because, you know, we were essentially doing 3 shows, 3 1-hour shows a day, which is heaps, over 3 days. So they really needed, you know, a bit of filler, which means that I got to wrestle a lot, which was great because, you know, obviously first couple of times I was absolutely shitting my pants, but as, you know, the days wore on, I got a little bit more comfortable and I could actually just enjoy it and enjoy the fun of it and enjoy the fun of, you know, getting to be sort of a real life superhero. And it was cool. It was really awesome. And, just a lot of good times. And, really enjoyed it.
Well, good. Yeah, I mean, I had a good time too. The film was good. Bernie Rao's film, My Love and My Lazy Boy. It was all run very smoothly. It was nice. Everything, the shots that they were getting looked really nice, and everything I've seen seemed like it works. And they were good guys too, so it was a really great shoot.
When are they going to let you have a look at some cheeky footage?
I have no idea. How long's a piece of string? When are you going to let the actors see the footage from older?
Well, to be fair, I have actually let them see some cheeky footage, those that have sort of been around to see things.
Yeah.
But it did take
5 years.
It did take 3 years to get to that point. But that went well. But I tell you what, mate, honestly, I was so glad that I was only visiting Wellington, because I don't want to bitch about the weather, but my God, it was so bad. It's way worse than Dunedin. It was bitter.
It was like so horrible. Just blow in your face, freezing cold, icy cold rain. And they say you can't beat Wellington on a good day. That's their slogan. It's just a shame about the other 364. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I like the people and I like the city itself, but just that weather. Honestly, guys, I don't know how you do it.
I
did 5 years there, by the way. I'm allowed to complain.
You're allowed to complain. I was there for 2 years. I'm allowed to complain. We've done our time in Wellington. But yeah, well, I had a good chat to Bernie, your director, and he seems to really have his head screwed on straight. Very well prepared, and he's sort of done feature films already, and he's done low budget feature films. So he's already fought the battles, and he knows what's coming. So you know, I think it's going to be cool. It's a cool concept, and I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, everything that I've seen looks really, really slick.
I recently shared some screenshots of me, some promotional material.
The annoying part is you want all those photos to be the size of a normal photo, so you can look at them properly. Yeah, because they're a collage.
Yeah, there's one big one and a bunch of collage. But anyway, people can go look at that if they want. Go facebook.com/GuyAndHarley. That's our podcast Facebook page. Hit like, stay updated, and also you'll be able to see there the My Love and My Lazy Boy poster, amongst other shit that I post.
Specializing in playing another creep.
Yeah, creeping. Speaking of creeping, I saw my scenes from where I played a gay rapist. They were good.
The gay raping seemed very authentic.
The gay raping seemed very authentic. So
believable.
To keep people updated, I played a gay rapist in a feature film, and that feature film, when I agreed to the role, I'd only read half the script.
You hadn't actually read that you were a gay rapist.
Got to the gay rapist part.
You had no idea. You just really thought you were a guy. Like at a institution, helping the patients out.
Yeah.
2 pages later, you're a sickening gay rapist.
On set, they said something about the scene later on, and and I've told the story before, but I was like, yeah, the scene later on, and then I rushed back to my bag and got the script out and like frantically leafed through all the pages looking for my name to find that I was shooting a gay rape scene. Not that day, obviously I'd prepared for the scenes I was doing that day, but that wasn't happening that day, so I hadn't needed to read that bit yet.
What's funny though is that you didn't even read all of your parts before you
said
started
yes.
filming.
Yeah.
Or said yes, but more before you. So you're literally shooting parts of your thing, and you hadn't read all the way to the end of your character.
Yeah. Look, I was very busy at the time.
You must have been.
Honestly, I was squeezing that in, and that was the one that I had to road trip twice for. I had to road trip to Tongariro for that. It was like a 7-hour drive or something each way.
It's really 7
It's meant to be 5, but the lady that was driving was a very cautious lady, and she got us there safe and sound, so no complaints. But it did take it was like more than 6 hours.
That
each way
is a hefty drive.
I know, right? And so it was like fuck. And then the other time I had to road trip on my motorbike to Port Waikato, which was it's not that far, but when you're an inexperienced motorbike rider like me, the idea of riding out on the highway like that, it ain't that great. The furthest I've gone is Rotorua and back, which is further than that, but still. I'm not hugely experienced, and it's pretty pant-shittingly terrifying out there. These people that just ride motorbikes for fun on the weekend, I'll take my hat off to you, but that's literally playing in traffic, guys.
Yeah. So what else has been going on? We're talking to an invalid right now.
Yeah.
We're talking to a cripple.
Yeah, well, look, so we better get updated on the Bug Chronicles. Our favourite segment.
Yep.
Now, just before we get into all of this, I'd like to point out that I have popped a couple of tramadol, not to be mistaken for Tranidols, which I've also popped a couple of.
Hey.
So anything I say or do in this episode is not legally binding.
Dad joke, number 1 of the episode.
That was so much better than a dad joke. Tranidols, which I've also popped a couple of. It's genius.
Well, okay.
That's some of my best work. That's nothing legally binding is what I'm saying. Might be a little bit out of my head slightly.
But you've had this operation. We've talked about the operation on the podcast. Hairy buttitis.
Yep.
You've been afflicted by it.
Yep. Guy's been afflicted by it.
I've been afflicted by it.
A lot of people on my Facebook have been afflicted by it. They're all coming out of the woodworks.
People coming out and admitting that they've been afflicted
by hairy buttitis.
The silent killer, hairy buttitis.
Yeah, so, for people that don't listen, all the new people that are coming along to hear about what the operation is, the specifics, it was a pilonidal sinus, which is like a tunnel at the top of your ass that doesn't ever heal without surgery, and Blair Martin coined the name for it, septic pus tunnel. And I feel like that's an apt description, Blair, so thank you for that. He's a hardy hundy listener. Now, so anyway, I went in, right? Now, honestly, my experience of hospitals is a lot more pleasant than your experience, your podcast experience of the hospital. Because, here's mine. So I walked in, right? I finally had my operation. I got a funny surgeon, and he was a handsome brown-skinned dude that could possibly be like a Pacific Islander, but he could also be like Egyptian or something like that. And he had sort of a 5 o'clock shadow. He was kind of like, I don't know, JD from Scrubs, kind of, sort of that type of air about him. And anyway, he said for a start, he said that they did 5 of these operations that morning, and they were doing 5 more in the evening. So that's how common this is. And then I also got some pretty funny quotes from him. He was like, people wake up and say they need a shit, Morty. You don't need a shit. Your ass has been anesthetized. It just feels heavy. Now that is a quote from him. So
done as Rick from Rick and Morty. For some reason.
I just felt like it was something that Rick would say.
It's true.
Because he was saying that people wake up feeling they need a shit, but it's just because their ass is numb. Now, another quote I got from him was, 3 things that people ask me about. Am I going to die on the operating table? No. You watch too many movies. There's 2 types of people that die on the operating table. Your 94-year-old grandmother, she shouldn't have been there. She should have died in her home. The other group is people that have been picked up by ambulances quickly after the accident and made it to the operating table. But they shouldn't have been there because their injuries are far too grievous. They should have died on the scene.
It's a good line.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. He continues, the second question people ask me, am I going to wake up? No, you're not going to wake up. You're going to sleep. You're going to be dreaming for 45 minutes, which is what you get in a night. You spend the first few hours falling asleep. You dream for 45 minutes. You spend a few hours waking up. You're going to have the best sleep. And I did.
Yeah, my experience of being anaesthetized, I didn't have a great sleep in the way that you did. Like, I didn't dream or anything.
I was dreaming.
It was a straight blackout.
I was having a wet dream on the surgery table.
Blackout and then eyes open.
Right.
Like complete nothing in between. But anyway.
Well, he then goes on. The fourth thing people ask me, because he obviously forgot the third thing. The fourth thing that people ask me...
He forgot the third thing?
I guess so. The fourth thing
or
that
did
people...
you?
No, he did. He just goes straight from... He went straight to the fourth thing. The fourth thing that people ask me, will it hurt? No, it will not hurt. We're going to give you a local anesthetic and put you to sleep. You're going to feel good. You've already had 2 paracetamol. You're getting all the good drugs. So I was like, okay, I like this doctor.
Sounds like a nice guy.
Yeah. And then both before and after the operation, they asked me if I wanted my ass sent back to me.
Which is a gross waste of taxpayers' money.
It is.
I should add.
Yeah.
A gross waste of taxpayers' money. Hey, we're going to put this... what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, what do you bloody bury it? Will you have a funeral for a piece of your ass?
Well, we're going to take this ass meat and we're going to put it in a special container and then we're going to store it for a period of time and then we're going to send it away. We're going to send someone to take this to the post office. We're going to pay postage and we're going to send it to you, all free of charge for you.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It is. Now,
for this piece of rotting flesh.
Rotting septic pus tunnel.
Pretty strange.
Well, obviously I said no, but now I wonder if I should have brought it home to sell it to the Hardy Hundy on the black market.
God,
you know, I reckon one of those guys out there, like Jason Coombs, he'll be putting his hand up.
God, fucking horrific.
That I also thought I could feed it to Lauren's cat. He's already got a taste for my blood. He scratched me the other day.
God, it's so disgusting if you really think about it. Hideous.
So, look, I went into the surgery room, and you will see if you're on my Facebook. I'm just need to read a small amount of this. So yeah, the surgeons were like funny and interesting, and there was a second surgeon who was a pregnant lady, and there's no way to say this without coming across as creepy, but she was hot too, and
she was glowing.
She's
radiant.
And then so the nurse that looked after me throughout the whole thing was young and beautiful. Like with a real nice smile, and was real friendly, and like I just really was not what I was expecting. You know, normally you go to the hospital, you get like maybe she's lovely, but like a lovely old lady kind of thing. It's not the case here. And then I went into the room where they did the operation, and there was 3 more hot nurses fussing around doing stuff.
Well, no wonder the surgeon was in such a good mood.
Yeah, well, I guess so. And so I climbed up on the table, and they'd built a mountain of pillows for me to kind of drape myself over, and then I stuck my freshly shaved ass up in the air. Now, my ass actually, they shaved it as I went under, so... but yeah, they sort of started straight away. They've shaved all these patches on my back where they could put some sort of monitoring things, I guess. Anyway... it was awesome. Basically, I had 45 minutes of like excellent sleep. I woke up invigorated, and I couldn't even get to sleep that later on that night because I just didn't really feel that tired. And I woke up real early the next day because I just didn't feel that tired because I'd had this amazing, invigorating. You know, it was actually 2 hours by the time all was said and done that I was under.
Yeah, again, never had that. Always felt very groggy and lethargic afterwards. Never felt good.
Well,
never felt well rested. Just felt, like come out of something deeper than a deep sleep and kind of want to go back to it.
I did also get, the surgeon wants me off my feet for 2 weeks, 14 days medical certificate saying I can't go to work.
You can play a lot of video games in 14 days.
I could if I had some way I had a TV or something. But yeah, instead I've just been watching a lot of World War II documentaries and listening to World War II podcasts.
There's a big fucking surprise.
A lot of them. Too many of them, if I'm honest. Now, Jason Coombs gave us some interesting information about how much this surgery I had might have cost in America. He says, my mom, who does some medical billing stuff, says that my operation over there would be about $2,000 as an outpatient procedure. So that means at my house, right? And $5,000 to $10,000 as an inpatient procedure.
Right.
So that little operation, which I spent $10 on my prescription of 2 prescriptions of paracetamol and tramadol. That was the only thing that has cost me so far. Over there in America, could have been $10,000.
Free healthcare is very important.
That's so important.
Also, everyone is entitled to health. I feel like that's one of those, if they can achieve it, if it can be achieved through medical, practices, everyone is entitled to good health. And like the idea that this is something that you can't have unless you are insured or unless you pay a certain amount of money. It's crazy, but it also just morally seems so wrong.
Yeah, it does.
It really seems bad, and if you want to dig into that, you think about how many people are not in good health because they simply are not insured or cannot afford to do it. It's really pretty disturbing. And yeah,
as a government, you should be looking bigger picture anyway. Like you got a good workforce. You look after your workforce that's going to be productive for the country. Makes sense, right? So keep people healthy. They're going to be good workers. They're going to stay in work and all that stuff.
Yeah. Also, there is this thing of like, look, if people aren't admitted to hospital or don't admit themselves to hospital until their problem has escalated to the point where it's a life-threatening problem, they are potentially using more resources kind of trying to save or fix these people at this stage than they would be had it been several years prior and it was just pilonidal sinus. Just needed a butt operation.
Somebody on my Facebook said that she had the pilonidal sinus in the past, but that her one got so bad that she got blood poisoning.
Yeah,
which is pretty nasty, obviously.
Yeah, well, look, don't be bragging. I don't know if you should be bragging just yet.
About what? About how I'm healing?
Yeah,
well, I'm not bragging.
About how great your operation was.
Oh, right.
Because
so far so good.
Yeah, so far so good, but you're far from out of the woods yet, mate.
Yeah. I'm taking care of myself, though.
When you say that, you mean you're lying down a lot, and just that's it.
Oh, I get up and down. I gently exercise, and I be sure to stretch gently.
Exercise, masturbation. Yes,
I do a lot of masturbation, and I do feel that counts as exercise, given my condition.
Certainly gentle at this point,
given my condition, and so yeah. I do look after it, and I'm very aware of it and making sure I don't pull it in ways that it shouldn't be pulled.
And also you're taking care of your butt.
Yeah, that too. Now, the other night, it hasn't been all peaches and cream, by the way. I had a lot of trouble getting my shoes and pants off by myself the other night.
It was a real ordeal.
It was a real struggle. But I didn't ask my flatmates for help because I'm a big macho New Zealand male who sees asking for help as a sign of weakness. So I just struggled on my own in my room.
Just twirled away for an extra 10
busting
minutes.
Open my stitches for it.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if everyone's going to be putting their hand up to take your pants off.
Yeah. Well, a few of the hardy-hundy might. Right, guys? Yeah, so I've been eating standing up, because it's just not that comfortable sitting down. It is getting better. And the toilet seat is the only place in the house that's actually comfortable to sit.
True.
I found that out. I was like, wow, this is really comfortable.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to do a lot of thinking in here.
Just going to have to sit here constantly.
So what else been going on?
Well, I had 2 auditions.
Oh, good for you. And how was it? I hope it was fucking good because it's useless now, isn't it? Fuck's sake, man, you're amateur.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them went excellently. One of them was for a big TV show, which a big drama TV show, and it went very well. So and the character was quite well suited to me. So hopefully I get it. But if not, I'm happy just because it was a good audition. And then the other one is an ad, which also went well, but I went in with very low hopes. It was the morning of my operation, so I was starving because I was supposed to be fasting. And then I had to go and do this audition an hour before my operation on an empty stomach. Hangry, yeah. And plus it was quite a hard one, and I'd only gotten the dialogue the night before, but I nailed it anyway. It went really well, and if I get that one, it pays 8.5 G's, and both of them I have shoot dates that are reasonably far away, so I don't have to worry about hearing about them tomorrow, hopefully. And then having to say to them, no, I can't because I've got my butt operation is healing.
Because my butt is healing. I can't make any sudden movements.
Yeah. Well, one of them's quite a physical role as well. The ad's quite a physical role. It's got a little bit of sort of, it's got some wire work, I think, in it.
Right.
So it is important that I've healed by then.
Yeah, anything else?
You're the shittest co-host ever.
No, I mean, I've got some things, but
Oh, look, there's lots to do. Okay, so in Wellington, I got very lucky. Thanks to Julie Clark, our long-suffering makeup artist who always does an excellent job. She got me into the Armageddon VIP opening night party where all the guests were. So it was all the people that everyone else was paying money to hang out with, and some of the guests had paid money to be at the party. But
you were just fucking chilling.
I was just chilling with them, and more than that, I met with them at their hotel, their fancy, like the fanciest hotel in Wellington. Met them there. We all walked together to the party, and then partied at the party, and then came back to the hotel and drank some more at the hotel bar, just me and the guests. And then, because we'd lost our mutual friend as well, Julie had gone walkabout by that stage. And then so I was hanging out with these people, and then we went out to a bar, and these people are... now, I didn't really know who they were.
It's pretty funny, but who are these people?
So one of them is the gay Carver twin. So the Carver Twins are twin actors that have been on like Supernatural and maybe like Desperate Housewives and various other things like that. And they're kind of... they've got quite a big following, I think. And so one of them, and I think it was the gay one, because apparently only one of them's gay. The gay Carver twin. Andrew Lees, who is in a show called The Originals, but he was also in The Pacific, which I was much more excited about, and Neighbours or Home and Away and these types of shows as well over in Aussie. And then Paul somebody, who's the voice in Assassin's Creed, but he's also been in a bunch of other shit. And then Elena Hoffman now she's one of your ones, guys. She was from Smallville. She had a role in Dawson's Creek.
Oh, shit.
Dawson's Creek. Stargate Universe, obviously you're not interested in that.
What did she do in Smallville?
She was she could scream really loud, I think, and it would affect people. The black something.
Yeah.
The black something.
I want to say Black Widow, but I don't think that's true.
Right. It was the black something, and she could scream very loud, and that was her superpower, I think.
Banshee? No?
I don't know. So her, and she is also in Supernatural and Stargate Universe and
I
other
would have
things
loved
like
to.
that.
Oh, man, I would have picked her brains about Dawson's Creek.
Yeah. Well, I didn't actually realise that until I looked, but she only had a small role. She was like, Hot Girl 6 or something like that.
Yeah, but,
still be interesting.
What was Dawson like? What was it like kissing Dawson?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Well, she might have kissed him. Her character name was Hot Girl, something like that. So, yes, anyway, I hung out with all those celebs, which is pretty awesome, and I have become Facebook friends with Andrew Lees, so we're totally tight now. Another bit of my LA networking, because he's over there now, so you never know. Might be one of my connections one day.
It is funny that you are just randomly just popped up Harley Neville, just zero credentials, hanging out with like Armageddon royalty and just shooting the breeze like you were one of them. Like probably you were going to be doing a Q&A at some point, but well, I kind of feel look, hey, I could. I wasn't the star of a feature film. I survived a zombie holocaust. It was pretty big over here, actually. You probably would have seen it on Showtime, etc. Over there. It's playing all the time, but it was a big deal over here, But
I did say all of that. I did say literally all of that. I did hand out my nude cards as well, and I took photos with my selfie stick with me and all of them.
Selfie stick, pretentious selfie stick in full effect.
Yep. So that was good. And it was kind of funny because I didn't know who they were, so I was just hanging out and talking.
That's
and
also funny is that there was probably some others that you still haven't identified.
Oh, yeah. There was heaps of other people at the
who
party.
are like real big shots that you just literally don't know.
No, there was heaps. There was a bunch there that people were like, such and such. But it was like, I didn't know which one was which. You could kind of tell, though, because they look like Hollywood stars, you know?
They look beautiful.
Yeah.
They're beautiful people.
Yeah, but I did have quite a long chat to a real old guy who's 80-odd from Doctor Who. Now, there can't be that many 80-year-olds on Doctor Who.
Well, was he the Doctor?
He
or?
had blue eyes and very straight white teeth, and we commented on that being our shared traits.
What? But, you know, did he play the Doctor?
I didn't ask him.
Fucking hell.
I just had a chat to him.
Jesus Christ.
Just had a chat, equal to equal, you know?
Peer to peer.
Peer to peer, you know?
Fuck's
And
sake.
look, I'll tell you what, I was kind of holding myself like I was somehow special. Like there was like
I belong here.
there was groupies, you know.
I belong here.
There was groupies, like Armageddon groupies that were there to meet all the celebs and stuff. But it was great because I was hanging out with the celebs, so it made me cool by association. And then of course they talked to me, and I'm like, yeah, well, you know, I'm in the movie biz.
Yeah, just did a couple of features.
Yeah,
Ghost TV.
you probably heard about I survived the zombie holocaust.
Yeah, I'm the lead.
Yeah, well, I did all of that.
Cool.
It was pretty cool.
Just for the record, I could have gone to this, but I had wrestling the next day. I was feeling...
Guy could have gone to a valuable networking, filmmaking networking event, but he chose to prioritize wrestling.
I had pro wrestling the next day. But more specifically, I also had a cold and I was feeling pretty shitty.
And it was like the shittest weather in the world.
And it was the shittest weather in the world. And so I was just like, it just doesn't make sense to potentially make myself sicker. Because I was already getting slammed and literal snot was exploding from my nose at certain points.
Yeah. Well,
I
that's didn't. Cool. I was not actually motivated. I said no. I said no to the ticket. I was like, no. But I'm glad I went in the end. But I was not feeling it. I think it was like the weather and maybe I was tired. I can't remember. Yeah. Maybe I just arrived that day, up flying that day and stuff.
I think so, yeah.
So yeah, I was like didn't really care, but I'm really glad I went.
Now we should also get into a sad section of the show.
Oh no. Is it my favourite section?
Who's dead this week?
Yep.
Bill. What happened? Ted? We're dead, dude. No way. This way.
A lot of people have died, actually, because it's been 6 months since the last episode. So in that time, a lot of people die, you know, that's the problem. But the two most notable people that have died, first of all, beloved Adam West. Batman, the first Batman, not the first Batman.
Better known as the mayor from Family Guy.
Either or 1960s Batman, depending on your demographic. Also depending on if they're still doing those Batman reruns every single fucking year forever, which they used to do on like TV2 at like, 4 or 5 in the afternoon. It's just fucking Batman, man. 60s Batman. Every day, 60s Batman. But that, like, you go through phases, like as a kid, you're like, whoa, it's amazing, it's Batman. And then you maybe become a little more cynical and you're like, yeah, this is not that great a Batman. And he doesn't really conjure up my image of Batman. But then you kind of look at it again, you go, actually, they're doing quite a lot of things on several different levels here. Both, the humor is clearly like you're appealing to kids on the one hand, but then there's a lot of much cleverer, funny, silly stuff for adults that you wouldn't pick up on if you're a kid. And, that show, has endured in a way that not many TV shows do, in the sense that you can show like a 1960s Batman now, and it's still completely watchable. And Adam West was just an awesome guy. He was part of, I don't know, he was a big part of my childhood, thinking about Old Chum and all that stuff. And also, like, even if I think back to the sort of stuff that I wrote, like Chaos and Milk Boy stuff, was like so derivative of that like there was a lot of humor taken out of the old Batman show, and stuff that so I wrote a script which was basically about our alter egos, Chaos and Milk Boy, but we were literally like Batman and Robin, and it was very much like that 1960s TV show with a lot of funny stuff.
We even had a Milk Boy suit.
Yeah, we had a Milk Boy suit made.
What did Chaos wear?
Well, I don't know.
I was Milk Boy, and I wore the Milk Boy suit, which was a cool spandex
I think
all-over suit thing. Hilarious.
I
that your mum made.
Yeah, I think that suit was originally maybe meant to be Chaos's suit, and that Milk Boy was going to be a more Robin-looking one, but then we just had that one suit, and then it just became Milk Boy.
Yeah.
And so we never got round to the...
So did Chaos just not have anything?
Chaos had nothing. We just never got to that. So we could only afford one suit.
Right.
So I can't remember, did we do some skits with you in that suit?
Well, we must have, right?
Well, I know that you went to some parties in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
But
later on, we dyed it green and reused it in a V-Man skit, which was a short ad we made for V. It's on YouTube.
I can't really remember, but it just goes to show like that he was like a big influential figure. He did some super funny stuff. He had a great sense of humor about himself and about the role, and clearly he knew that he was taking the piss, and it was all good. And just sad to see one of your childhood heroes go. So he's the first guy that died. So R.I.P. Mr. West.
Let's go. But inconspicuously. Through the window.
You filthy criminals.
Surrender! You criminals!
You abominable outlaws.
Second person. Do you know who this is?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, say the name, mate.
John G. Avildsen.
No, never heard of him.
He is the director of a little film called Rocky.
Ah, Sylvester Stallone.
And The Karate Kid. Ralph Macchio. Just waiting for you to chime in with Ralph Macchio.
Nah, couldn't remember his name. I probably should have said Mr. Miyagi.
Pat Morita.
Yeah.
Mr. Miyagi. And, you know, obviously, these guys were both in their 80s, so, you know, they had a pretty decent run, although I'm not looking forward to dying at 80 if I make it that far. But I think, you know, that's what he's most famous for. He directed a whole bunch of other stuff as well. But, like, as a director, you know, it's one thing to make a sort of a really good film. That's your first goal. And, you know, not many directors actually achieve that. But to make a sort of classic film that then becomes the template for every other film. That's kind of what Rocky did. You know, that is exactly, you know, like if you think about every sports film since Rocky, it's kind of Rocky. Every boxing film, you know, since Rocky is kind of Rocky. And that's because that Rocky was so fucking good and it was such an awesome film. And, like, I am literally trying to make a Rocky movie at some point, you know, based around pro wrestling. I'm pretty sure we've mentioned this on the show. But it's following the template of Rocky, because Rocky is amazing. So hats off to the man. And also The Karate Kid. What are your memories of The Karate Kid, Harley?
Well, I liked it, if that's what you mean.
Wax on, wax off.
Wax on, wax off. The crane kick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sweep the leg.
Yeah.
Sweep the leg. You have a problem with that?
No, Sensei.
No mercy.
What was those guys' name? The other dojo?
I don't know.
Cobra something. When I say it's like the Cobra Kai, maybe that's. I'm thinking of Cobra Commander from G.I. Joe. But anyway, it was fucking awesome, man. The Karate Kid. Imagine how many people like started doing karate after the Karate Kid.
Oh yeah.
I started doing karate after I watched Karate Kid.
Yeah.
I literally...
Like how I became interested in ice skating after the Mighty Ducks.
Did you really?
Well, yeah, I didn't start ice skating specifically.
Yeah.
Although I did ice skate a little bit. But yeah, like ice hockey, you know, I was a little more interested in ice hockey after seeing the Mighty Ducks.
But yeah, the Karate Kid has done more for karate than anything. And, you know, if anyone's thinking of the shitty Karate Kid with Will Smith's son and Jackie Chan, which is actually not that bad, but it's no classic 80s Karate Kid. When everything could have a bit more edge back in the 80s, you know. It's a lot less PC, and just seems to mean a lot more. Also, one of the great sequels, Karate Kid Part 2. He goes to Japan. Remember that?
I think I've seen it.
So anyway, Mr. Avildsen has passed away. Thank you for giving us those two amazing franchises. Thank you for the memories. And we'll probably play some clips and shit, because fuck, why not?
No such thing, bad student, only bad teacher. Teacher say, student do. Fighting always last answer to problem. Man who catch fly with chopstick accomplish anything.
Anywho, moving on. What else?
I got angry at a guy on Facebook who messaged me.
Oh shit!
Because
Facebook war.
Well, he messaged me over several days, right? And this is he's been doing this for a while, but you know, so it's one message, then a couple more days, same message, right? So first message, hi. Obviously, you don't respond.
No response to a hi.
4 days later, hi. Obviously, not going to respond to that.
Second hi.
4 days later, hi. Okay, all right. So I was like, hey man, pro tip: if you want to talk to a person, ask them a question, preferably about something important or interesting. Hi is not going to get you many responses. When you open a conversation with hi, you are effectively attempting to prompt me to initiate conversation with you. It's annoying.
Wow, you really came down on him.
And he goes, it's okay, KKK.
That's a pretty funny response. As far as responses go, I feel that, yeah.
Yeah. So that was it. That's all he said.
He didn't say anything more?
No, he left it at it's okay, KKK.
Well, I look forward to updates for further ongoing conversations with this man.
When I last did poetry, I forgot to mention there was this. I was doing the poem about Angie, and I came third in this stand-up poetry slam poetry competition.
Using that poem.
Using the Angie poem.
They're like, good. Really worn your heart on your sleeve. You're crying, which is an interesting choice. And it's clear that you've suffered some deep, deep trauma. This is very profoundly meaning to you. Third place.
Hey, third's all right. I was happy with third.
The story,
because the other two were good as well.
The story about the tree of life and the leaves and the earth rotating. We're gonna give it the edge. Sorry.
That sounds like the type
third
of thing.
Place.
That sounds like the type of thing I would do a poem about.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, there was this absolutely enthralled woman, like her mouth was agape, and she was just on the edge of her seat listening to the poem. Like, I actually noticed her specifically.
It took her back to a lost love of her own.
It probably did.
Any good art, it resonated with her and made her feel something about her own life.
Exactly. And what else you got?
Well, was that the only... Well, okay, movie reviews.
Oh, good.
I've
got some movie reviews this week, actually.
I've got a movie review. Wonder Woman.
Oh, yay.
Oh, don't start complaining, Harley, or people are going to jump on the old sexist bandwagon with you, mate. So Wonder Woman's been a big hit. It's a superhero film. It's pretty good. I think you'd like the World War I element of it.
Yeah.
Because you like wars and death and men murdering other men for arbitrary reasons and relishing in the violence that ensues.
That is what I do.
That's kind of where your heart lies.
That's actually, none of that's true. I actually am interested in the human stories and struggle. The idea of like being a frontline soldier, I find is very interesting because there's a whole range of emotions.
You did compare yourself to a frontline soldier on one of your Facebook posts recently,
where I said I was I was first and last out, like the 101st.
Yeah. And obviously I chimed in that was nothing Like the 101st. What were you saying you were doing? Certainly not marching to your death.
I wasn't attacking in the Ardennes.
You were like going to get a coffee or something.
Yeah. No, I can't remember what I was doing, but
waiting in line to get a coffee.
But I was the first in, last out.
But I just thought it was funny that you use that comparison, which is so inappropriate. But anyway, it was pretty good. I think that probably too much has been made of like, oh, it's a female-driven story and it's a female character, and so we have to champion it. You don't have to champion it. I mean, it's a solid superhero film. Is it a groundbreakingly amazing superhero film that destroys all other superhero films? No. It's just another superhero film. Does it have like a good kind of main character? Yeah, pretty good. But not really the thing that kind of it's been made out to be. And I think maybe everyone is just getting a little bit twisted on this whole, oh, well, it has to be the greatest thing ever, because it's all female and we need to see more of that. And I'm sure we do need to see more of that, but I'd much rather see Ripley return or, something along those lines. Really?
Yeah.
Ripley from Alien. Let's just clarify that.
Yeah, they know.
I don't know. Well, so I mean, most of them probably do. But yeah, it was good. Gal Gadot looked incredible, stunning. My girlfriend has quite a big crush on her and would leave me in a second for her. Which is always good to know in the back of my mind. But again, like, the Wonder Woman outfit, it has to be similar to the old Wonder Woman outfit, right? But the thing I didn't really like about it, which I noticed, was that she's wearing boots, right? But her boots have these kind of big platforms in them, because to make them more sort of high heel-ish, but it really doesn't make sense to do that.
Well, it sounds a little impractical.
Completely impractical. If you're a Amazonian...
She is effectively female Superman, right?
But if
so she's not going to break her ankle on a rock.
No, she's not. But if you're an Amazonian demigod, right, you're going to wear comfortable shoes still. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be in battle or you're going to be fighting like fucking Ares, or who's the god of war?
Ares.
Yeah. Right, you're going to go, look, these lifts in my boot, I'm not really feeling it because they're making me walk and run funny. But if they were just flat, I would really be more efficient at fighting the other gods. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you to take those out, please. I just saw it was actually, I saw her kind of walking in them and I was like, yeah, she's trying to walk.
Like it doesn't bother her.
Heroically, like it doesn't bother her. But she's wearing shoes that are in between kind of high heels and flat shoes. And they are definitely causing her some constraints here.
It would have been such a pain in the ass for her as an actor as well to do the entire shoot in those silly shoes.
Yeah, well,
they're probably not very comfortable.
I doubt they're comfortable at all. But yeah, just doing the stunts and all that, she could have rolled her fucking ankle. Would have been kind of easy for her. So I just thought that was just pushing it a little bit. That's my review of Wonder Woman.
Okay, well, I've got some reviews as well.
That's my big problem that's my whole issue with the whole film. Also, CGI-itis. Come on, man.
Of course, CGI-itis, crap story-itis.
CG-a-freaking-itis. Now they're building whole, like, suits of armor out of CG. Just put armor on them.
Yeah.
But just give them some armor.
Oh, it's so annoying.
They do it in Game of Thrones. They just put armor on people.
And it looks great.
It looks cool.
It looks fucking amazing.
They did it in Lord of the Rings. They were wearing armor. You're like, fuck, that's some pretty sick armor, my bro. But now, the armor's going to be too clunky. He's going to move around. Let's just CG his armor.
Yeah.
CG everything.
Don't stand for it. Dear listener, do not stand for it. If you go and pay to see these films, they're going to keep on chalking them out. And if you've got to go, you got to protest. go to films without too much CGI in them. That will sway the market back towards practical effects.
I guess so. It would be a real hard shift at this point.
Yeah. Well, we've got to start somewhere. So
don't go and see...
So watch Game of Thrones, don't watch Wonder Woman.
Don't see the stunning Gal Gadot in a pretty good superhero film.
No.
Protest it.
Yeah.
Protest it.
Fuck her. Who cares? I'm so sick of these fucking superhero films. Same shit. Oh, I've got my powers. What am I going to do with my powers? Oh, I'm going to have to be responsible with my powers. Oh, here's the bad guy. Oh, I fought the bad guy. Oh, looks like I'm not going to make it. Oh, I made it.
Well, yeah. And look, I mean, the good thing about this is they kind of weave the normal people World War I storyline quite well around that, and gave them good stuff to do. But, yeah, pretty much. Chris Pine's a good actor, though. I enjoy his work.
Oh, good for him. Now, I have some reviews.
Go ahead.
I watched Ex Machina again.
Yeah, fuck, like Harley, we've reviewed this.
Yeah, I know. I watched it again, and I just want to say, it's my second time seeing it, and it still stands up. Still stands up to that second view.
Second time seeing it and second time reviewing it on the podcast.
But I did notice one thing this time that I didn't notice last time.
Mm-hmm.
The pube continuity.
See the minutia that we really break down. I'm obsessed with Wonder Woman's boots, and you're looking at the pube continuity.
The pube continuity
was all over the place.
It was all over the fucking place.
Bloody shoddy.
Like, if I was on set, I would have been keeping a special eye on that. No, so what happens is at a certain point. We'll keep it vague, but this film has been out for a while, so go fucking watch it. It's only been out for like
3 fucking years.
Keep it vague. At a certain point, a robot needs to take some skin off another robot and put it on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And they take this full bodysuit of skin from another robot, put it on themselves. But when it's the other robot, she has a small tuft of dark pubic hair. She's Asian. And she has a small tuft of dark pubic hair. And then she puts on the skin, and then suddenly she's got a bigger tuft of blonde pubic hair.
Whoa.
That's way off, guys.
Now, that's true. That's
not going to work.
That's not accurate.
It's not accurate.
But was her skin... So was it the Asian woman's skin?
Yeah, so she essentially unzipped the skin from this other... robot.
Did she look Asian?
Yeah, she was completely Asian, and but the other girl was completely white.
Now, when the
completely European looking.
When the European woman put on the Asian skin, did she look Asian?
No. So she kept her own face. So she had skin on her face already. So it was just from the neck down.
Right.
Just from the neck down.
Shouldn't her skin be a different shade as well? Then?
Well, I guess that
you're more concerned about the pubes. So who cares about the skin continuity? But the pubes are a real problem.
But also, like maybe the skin was not so far off. You know, like a white person and an Asian person can have a reasonably similar toned skin.
But also, maybe.
But that pube continuity.
You got to think. You got to dwell on that for weeks.
Yeah, so the listeners. And then so anyway, great film. Go watch it. I also watched The Woman in Black 2, The Angel of Death.
Oh yeah, I watched that.
It was really bad, I thought.
It wasn't great.
It's kind of a crap ghost story, but it was almost like it was for kids, but it kind of wasn't. It was like in an uncomfortable zone in between PG-13 and R16 or whatever. So it was kind of just it didn't really know its place in the market, I think, and it was kind of just a crappy, not scary ghost story aimed at who knows who.
Looked quite nice though.
Yeah, it was all right as far as, CGI ghosts and all that stuff going around, and just all that thing, the old jump scare where it's like, ten. And then the bad face comes out of nowhere or whatever, You're like, mate, here it comes.
Look, don't be poo-pooing on jump scares, mate, because you're going to be fucking part of a few more jump scares in Pigville Productions.
Coming up soon.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of fucking jump in your future. So you better get used to it.
Now, I also watched... Jason Bourne. Now, I watched 4 films in a row at my hotel because I just went to Hastings. After Wellington, I went to Hastings and I spent 8 nights sharing a room with my brother my 17-year-old brother, and sometimes my mum, and sometimes my sister as well. Sometimes the whole gang was in there. And I do remember last week you were saying about the masturbating Trump supporter, and you were saying about how you should save it, and how if you save it, you will enjoy it more.
That's right.
Is what he was saying.
I did suggest that to him.
Yeah. Well, look, I can vouch for that. It does feel better when you save it, as I learned from 11 nights of being in places that it's inappropriate to masturbate.
Yeah.
So 8 of which were spent with my 17-year-old brother, mum and sister. And I came back from Hastings, and I could have gone to poetry night, but I had some catching up to do. So that was a week ago, but I've gotten it out of my system now. I've completely come to my senses.
So
I'm of sane mind.
But sound mind and body.
Yeah.
Essentially, you were going to go to an event, but you had some wanking to do. You had some serious wanking to do. You actually had to. You're like, look, I can't go to this event because I've really got some wanking that I need to catch up on.
Well, I think of it in terms of maintenance. It's just body maintenance is what that is.
Yeah.
You got to look after yourself.
Oh, yeah, some people might think of it as abuse. What you did to the poor bugger.
Just interfering with my innocence. Yeah.
So if you're wondering why wasn't it poetry night, that's why.
That is why. I was otherwise occupied. Now, before I got into that, I also wanted to say as well that the people of Hastings are not what you would call traditionally handsome. I saw a lot of scuffs and socks, the scuff socks combo and stuff like that, very practical stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was not a bad place, but it wasn't quite as amazing a town as I thought it was going to be. I was picturing Napier. Turns out that Napier and Hastings are quite different. Now, so anyway, there was something else we were saying. Oh, movies. And then Jason Bourne. I watched Jason Bourne all on this one night. And that was just pretty shit. Just the same old shit. Like, I don't really like those movies. And then...
No CG in them, though.
Yeah, well, that was good. Like, I like the action in that. I just didn't really care about the high-stakes drama. You know? I was like, I don't really care. And then it's like, oh, yep, he's going to, like, beat up the people. He beat them up. And so I'm so hard to please, huh? But so anyway, and then I watched the fourth film I watched, which was really good and kept me up like 2 hours past my bedtime, was Sausage Party.
Oh, it's a good film.
I really thought that was pretty damn hilarious. Very clever. It sort of addressed real life issues in a humorous way and also pushed the envelope.
I feel like I may have reviewed it on the podcast as well.
Well, I've seen it now.
It's quite interesting that you saw that, because I was actually just thinking about that film the other day and how it was fucking good. I was like, what's the last good, like, sort of CG animated film I saw? Because I've kind of given up on Pixar films now. And then I was like, oh yeah, Sausage Party. That was a bloody good film. It had a lot of good ideas in it. And also where they sort of take it.
Yeah,
I was like, they've written themselves into a corner here that they can't get out of. Well, they got out of it all right. They got out of it. It was bloody good stuff.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen Sausage Party, that's our recommendation.
Yeah.
And if you're...
And Ex Machina.
Yeah. We should quickly just talk about Older.
Okay.
Just finally, after months, finished the latest edit.
Yeah.
And you've watched it.
Yeah.
What's your take?
It's really good. It's way better than the second edit, and I thought the second edit was looking pretty good.
Well, that's good that you say that, because we did spend a couple of $1,000
on the pickups
and some extended periods of time shooting some pickups.
Yeah.
With the idea that these pickups will make
the movie better,
better and more well-rounded.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that is what it achieved.
Yeah. Now, Older's our second feature film. You can find out more by going facebook.com/oldermovie. And there's a trailer on YouTube as well. Search Older Pigville trailer and you'll find it. So go check that out if you haven't seen it yet.
And I guess the next question is, are we going to do anything to this most recent edit before we give it to some big shots?
Well, I need to re-watch it because I did have a few notes, but I don't know if they were anything that was so major.
Yeah.
You know, like they were just little tweaks and stuff like that.
Yep.
So you could probably decide, like write those notes and then you could decide if they were right or wrong and worth changing or not.
Yeah, well, there's no need to pull the trigger, but, you know, it is getting to that time, I feel, with the film, that we should be thinking about...
Sending it out to people.
Polishing it off.
Yeah.
And saying, like, no more pickups.
Yeah.
No more fucking around.
Yeah.
Let's now sort of... It is what it is.
It's going to open a lot of doors for us.
It is what it is.
This movie is... We are reaching critical mass. I said this to Guy the other day.
And I said... you've been telling me...
And that Guy said, in the voice of Eeyore, what did you say?
I said, the thing is, Harley, you've been saying we've been reaching critical mass for several years.
Yeah, it's been a decade.
That you've said this exact thing to me.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's really happening this time. And I can see it. And there's so much stuff on the horizon that's looking really rather exciting. So just for both of us, and combined with as Pigville as well, and older looking this great is going to be such a massive boon when it comes out. I really think it's going to open some doors for us.
Yeah, well,
I think it's going to bump us up the ladder a few more rungs in the local Auckland filmmaking scene as well.
I'm certainly hoping so. I'm certainly hoping that it doesn't go over like a fart in church, you know? Really hoping that it doesn't do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, you have to prepare yourself for it. It could happen.
Of course.
But I sincerely don't think it will. I really believe in it. I think it looks great. But yeah, I guess you have to prepare yourself mentally for every eventuality.
But, you know, I think last time I was quite depressed. You were quite depressed. I was depressed.
About what?
Well, you know, just about filmmaking.
Well, after Zombie Holocaust came out or something? What do you mean?
More just kind of like, oh, God, this edit it's going on forever. I was trying to finish this film in a year. It's taken me 3.5, and I still haven't finished it yet. The fuck? You know? And now that I've finished it, I haven't finished it, but now that I've finished that edit, definitely feel better. Definitely feel a great weight is it's not off my shoulders.
But it's been alleviated.
It's alleviated. The clammy hands are not choking the life slowly out of me anymore. They've just released their grip somewhat, and I can take a breath. So that's how I'm feeling about filmmaking at this point.
Good. Well, look, I'm happy to hear that, and so are the listeners. Yeah, it is looking great. And then obviously we've got No Caller ID has a sales agent now. Zombie Holocaust is being viewed all around the world and is still selling in some places. There's a couple of other places added to the list that I don't know if do you remember them? I can't really remember
Philippines.
them. Philippines was already there, but there was another couple of random ones
Middle East
in the last year. There was one in the Middle East, so it is selling still. It is available legally in various places, and including some new places. That's I Survived the Zombie Holocaust, our first feature film. Now, so Zombie Holocaust and No Caller ID are out there with sales agents. That's awesome. Older is looking awesome and is just about is getting close to completion. The end is in sight, and it's very far in the distance, but it is in sight.
It's in sight.
It's a clear night, so it's you can see quite far. You can see very far,
way into the distance.
Yeah,
on a good day.
It's just peeking over the horizon, but it is there. It is there. And then, of course, we have this exciting opportunity upcoming, which you've been working feverishly on, this found footage horror, which we might have funding for. We're waiting to hear.
Well, we're probably hoping for the green light at the end of this week sort of thing.
And then it's all on.
Around thereabouts.
Like Donkey Kong.
And certainly very exciting. Very, very exciting, and also, to be honest, very refreshing to be working on something different. And I'm co-writing it with Imi the Vegan, so that's been really nice as well, to not just be toiling away by myself.
Yeah.
Have some great ideas and some fresh input from her, and be able to sort of go back and forth on stuff and think things through. So that's been a great experience, and I just sort of finished my revisions of that outline, and before we started this podcast, as a matter of fact. spent my whole fucking day on it. And now we're hoping to send that away for people to have a look at. It is one of those things, though. It was meant to be a sort of a rough outline, and now when you look at it, it's like the fucking treatment of the whole fucking series.
Yeah.
Like, it's not rough at all.
Yeah.
And even each episode is in no way vague or, like, sort of obscure as, like, oh, this is beat for beat what is fucking happening now.
Yeah.
Which is both good and bad. Good to have.
Bad if you need to change it, but good.
Yeah.
Good to have, but bad if they don't want it.
Bad if they don't like it.
Yeah.
And also just, a lot more work when you do it that way. But it's very hard for me anyway, I find, to write in vagaries, to write in, and then a whole bunch of things happen, and then he dies. Some things happen that create this situation, but we can't go into those details yet. Because if you don't go into those details, my first question is, how the fuck do you get to there? How the fuck did you get to that?
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem... for me, it has to follow that linear path.
I don't think it'll be bad from their perspective either. Like, I think that, if anything, it'll be a good thing. Like, they want to see that you've got plenty of ideas and that you're working hard and taking it seriously and all that stuff. So it's got to be a good thing.
But yeah, so hopefully we'll have some announcements about that in the next podcast. I certainly hope. But hoping that will be the project we'll be sort of chipping away at for the rest of the year. If we do, looks like there's a high chance that you'll be paying a creep.
Me.
Yeah, fucking creep.
Yep.
Sicko.
And I'll be playing
fucking
another
pervert.
creep. Thanks, Guy. Now, it is a cool role, though.
And write what you know.
Yeah. Right to my acting strengths.
And write what you know.
Creepy perv.
So you combine those two things. He's a creep. I'm a perv. Write what you know. Play to your strengths.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's good. It is a cool role, though.
It is a cool role. I'd like to play that role if...
too bad. It's all mine.
If I was doing any acting in this, which I won't be.
You have to get a cameo in there, though, right?
Oh, well, I probably may play, a sort of mutton-chopped villager.
Yeah.
Of some description. With a leery gaze.
Yeah. I think that sounds well-suited.
Yeah.
Yeah, now, I got a comment on our vlog. Now, we released a vlog on YouTube documenting our recent nude photo shoot and the accompanying DVD signing that we did at a record store here in Auckland. And we got a vlog shot about it, and it turned out great, and it's on YouTube. Search YouTube, go on YouTube and search for Pigville, and you'll find our channel there, and there's a vlog about that. But anyway, I got a comment on it from Primary Sanctum. Now, it is, of course, talking about our nude photo shoot, and there's a photo of Guy standing and me lying down, lounging at his feet, and we're both naked with DVDs just covering our genitals. Go to facebook.com/Guy and Harley if you want to see that. Now, this guy, Primary Sanctum, comments, the guy standing is pretty sexy. The other guy is gross looking. Get another guy who is actually good looking to be in the set with that standing hunk. So, thanks, Primary Sanctum. Ouch, my fucking feelings.
That's funny stuff.
Yeah, well, at least he likes you.
Yeah. He wants to get into my Primary Sanctum.
So now he does. And now you've got a bear following.
So that's
maybe.
Cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's almost a troll hole section there.
Yeah, I probably should have framed
really
it as a troll
the
hole.
Troll hole. Yeah.
Yeah, whoops, forgot about that.
But yeah. Well, you're semi-standing now. Your butt's getting sore.
Yeah.
Too much sitting down.
I stood up. Now I'm on my knees on my chair, but this is a short-lived one. Standing up will be all right. But yeah, I've got to alternate positions. This is what I do for you guys. Now, the New Blood pilots came out.
They did.
Now,
oh god, they did.
Now go easy, Guy, because we got to travel.
I do
and
know
we've got to
some of
continue
these-
traveling in those circles. And
I know
lots
some of these
people.
people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So do I. So the New Blood pilots.
Oh, God.
Now these were the ones that we applied with our one, Emmy the vegan. So tactfully, Guy, what would you say about the New Blood pilots that made the shortlist? I've only seen 2. I've got to watch the rest of them.
Yeah, and I've only seen 1.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess we can't comment too much then.
But I would say that there was some dubious decision making.
Yeah, I mean, I'm inclined, when I watched the 2 I saw, were fine, but next to Emmy the Vegan, they really pale in comparison, especially like technically speaking. It's just such a professional product, our one, and it's unique, and I don't know, I just really feel like it's really a cut above those ones that I saw. And so I was quite disappointed to hear that, like, there's clearly been some sort of mistake, because not only did we not make
We're not
the top...
one to bring up conspiracy theories,
but there's been a fucking mistake, guys.
There's been a conspiracy. And Harley's got a theory about it.
Look, it doesn't seem right to me that because if I would believe it if we didn't make the top 8 or however many there are, I can't remember. 10. So we didn't make the top 10, right? Now, if we didn't make the top 10, I could accept that. But due to my sleuthing and my inside connections, I happen to know that we didn't make it into the top 30. So we didn't make the initial culling. So the initial culling, when they went through and were like, shit, like, this is made by high school kids and it's real crap, like, crap this, crap that, just rubbish, just waste of time. That's when we got cut. Which just doesn't seem right to me. Just purely based off the production value alone, I feel like you should make it into the top 30 and be worth a second look.
It's mind-boggling. And if you want to have a look at the web series, maybe that's what the listeners should do is...
go and have a look.
Brave yourself.
Well, you can vote. You can vote for your favourite one.
And you can vote for your favourite one.
And you should vote, because we know pretty much all of those filmmakers.
Yeah, but it does seem, it is a conspiracy.
I'll share it on the Facebook page, facebook.com/guy and Harley.
100% believe in my heart of hearts that the selectors or the selector, this pimply-faced fucking kid who gets paid, $10 an hour probably. He's fucking tired. He's nodding off at his chair. He's eating donuts. He's morbidly obese. He had never had a girlfriend in his life. And he's chowing his way through his web series, but he's going in and out of a diabetic coma, just dozing off. Oh, fuck, I missed most of that. What's the name of it? Emmy the Vegan. Vegans.
I hate vegans.
I fucking hate vegans. Fucking compromising my donut eating. So basically, this obese man who's never had sex in his life watched Emmy the Vegan, except he didn't watch it. He either watched 30 seconds of it and then just gave up because he was a lazy fat shit, couldn't be bothered doing his fucking job, or he nodded off from his diabetic coma, again, weight issues from his poor diet, and he just kind of slept through it, and in the end he woke up and he's like, I didn't actually watch that, but this is the time I had allotted to watch it, so I'm going to have to give up my time if I actually want to watch this now, or I could just reject it because it's called Emmy the Vegan. So I'm going to just go ahead and not select this. Third option. Emmy the Vegan just ain't that funny.
We're not as awesome as we think we are.
We are full of our fucking selves, pretentious wankers.
Fucking Auckland filmmakers.
Who think that we're fucking awesome and that everything we do is magical.
Gold.
And in reality, we don't hit them all out of the park. This being one that we didn't.
Yeah, I don't really think that, though. I actually really like it. I mean, it's a different type of humour to what we normally do, but I do really like it. Now, I actually made a sort of a sneaky thing. I made it available privately to Patreon supporters, that just to Patreon supporters. So if you want to see it, it can be arranged. And all you got to do is go to patreon.com, search Pigville, and become one of our supporters. Last time I checked, we had $69, which is a great number, but we need $1 more. We need $1 more, though. Now, many moons ago, a couple of moons ago, I did, about 24 moons ago, I did,
okay.
I did a photo on the Humans of K Road page. Now, it's much like the Humans of New York page. It's a spin-off of the Humans of New York page. It's called the Humans of K Road, and it's the same thing. They stop random strangers on the street on K Road and ask them for a quote. So I did that. I did a quote, which was, I'll tell you, my quote was a picture of me standing there, and the quote is, I'll tell you something my granddad told me. It's in my poem, actually. You'll recognize it from my poem. I put it in there eventually.
You'll recognize plagiarization of yourself.
Of my own poem.
In your other works.
Yeah. So I'll tell you something my granddad told me. Love's not about sex. It's about experiences shared. So if you love a woman and you want her to love you back, be sure to take her on a little adventure every single day. So
it's not bad advice, and it also explains why I'm constantly cycling through girlfriends.
Yeah, because you don't take them on adventures.
I don't take them on adventures.
No.
I ain't got time.
Well, to be honest, I think that might be part of your problem.
I'm fucking busy.
Might be part of your problem.
Look, sorry, love, but I literally just have to stay in all day and edit older. Can't do anything with you. Also,
want to go out for breakfast? I can't afford it.
No, sorry, I can't afford it because I just bought a new hard drive to back up older on. So you can see that we can't really do anything.
Older on.
Let's look into,
before the Empire destroys it.
I get what you did there.
Yeah.
Let's look into 2 months down the track. We might
just move on.
We might just have time for a brunch, and that's people get sick of that, and I understand and respect their decision. To be perfectly honest, I don't fault anyone.
Yeah.
Well,
look,
there's only so many pizza and movie nights
that will suffice. Yeah. Can we go out? No. Can we just watch pizza and you watch a movie while I work on while I work on editing older?
Yeah.
Watch a movie on your laptop.
Yeah,
I'll pay for Netflix.
Can we watch a movie together? Absolutely. But halfway through, I'm going to get up and go start doing some other stuff. I'm not really going to be present.
Now
I'll be here, but not present at all.
So this photo, this Humans of K Road photo, is it got put on the Humans of K Road page. It did really well. It got 1.2 thousand reactions, which was pretty great. And this was a couple of years ago too. So it did really well. And then basically after that, the guy that runs Humans of K Road, he really liked it, and he submitted it as part of an exhibition so that it might get displayed in the Q Theatre on Queen Street in Auckland, which is obviously a cool, trendy spot where lots of actors and creative types are seen. And it was accepted, and it was put up like pride of place right in the middle of this busy cafe. There's a big picture of me with my quote next to it, and that was very cool. It would have been a cool place to take a date. If I was single at that time, that would be the type of place where you take a date. You go, hey, do you want to go out and meet for a beer? And then you go and you sit them underneath this quote from you talking about love and adventures.
Embarrassing. I forgot
about that.
I forgot they even put us. All I can think about when I see that is your shitty poo brown shoes.
Why don't you like my shoes? They match my hat.
I know you've got matching shitty poo brown shoes and hat. It's not that there's anything wrong with them exactly, but I just go, oh, those shitty shoes.
Why don't you like those shoes?
Fucking shitty shoes.
Those shoes are awesome.
They're just shit coloured. That's all it is. They're shit coloured shoes. And also they're just so hipster. It's such a
it was very hipster.
It's like the most hipster photo you have on record.
Okay, but Humans of K Road is a hipster page.
I get it.
So it's primed for
I get it.
For virility.
They literally singled you out because of your shitty brown shoes. They're like, I wonder if that guy has a story because I really want to photo him in his shoes.
His shitty brown matching shoes and beanie. Poo brown. Sort of baby diarrhea brown.
Yeah, but real diarrhea, like stepping shit on the sidewalk, dog poo kind of
Yeah,
colour.
well, if people want to see that, go facebook.com/Guy&Harley. I actually just shared it recently. Just scroll down and you'll see it. It's a big picture of me standing there. You'll see it.
Those shoes. Where does he get those shitty brown shoes?
Let us know what you think of the shoes. Now, so anyway, this after going into this Q Theatre thing, right? A couple of years passed and it sat there for ages and it was awesome, but it's gone now, sadly. But I got contacted recently by the guy, the photographer, and he asked me he wanted to use it as part of the Creative Mirror project, which is an art exhibition on K Road, which is happening this Saturday. It's debuting on the launch party is on the 24th of June at 1 p.m. at a place called Thievery Studio on K Road. Now, again, I have shared all that information on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Guy&Harley. But yeah, 1 p.m. Saturday, the 24th of June, there is a launch party. Now, the tickets do cost $15, but you get free booze. I will be attending. I mean, I've got to be careful because I'm on leave from work because of my butt operation, so I can't be then running around at bloody art exhibitions but not showing up to work. They'll be unhappy about that. Now, I mean, I would very fairly argue that standing around for an hour or two at an art exhibition is nowhere near as taxing as sitting for 8 hours on your recently operated on butt at work.
Also, like, just being real here, we've just done an hour-long podcast where you have not been able to maintain sitting for an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's legit.
Yeah.
Your injury is legit.
It is. But they might. I worry that my work will be like, well, if your injury's so legit, why the fuck are you going to art exhibitions?
Why are you soireeing around art exhibitions, sipping on a wine and taking photos with your selfie stick?
Selfie stick.
It's taking photos of your selfie stick of yourself by yourself, looking back at yourself on Humans of K Road.
Yeah. I better do that, eh?
Yeah.
Better do that Inception Harley photo.
Well, you have to.
So anyway, do get along down to that if you're in Auckland, K Road, Thievery Studio, Saturday the 24th. I will be there, and the picture and quote will be there, and it'll be a fun time, I'm sure.
Also, if you're going to be in Auckland, July 9th, I think it's the Mount Eden War Memorial Hall, 6 p.m. IPW Wrestling presents Bangers and Smash, New Zealand v England Wrestlers, and card subject to change, but tentatively speaking,
Guy Pigden,
Alex Savage will be there wrestling. So you may want to get on down to that, check it out.
Yep. Well, maybe we'll share that as well. Share that event on the Facebook page.
We should do, yeah.
Yeah. Now let's go from one type of fake violence to domestic violence.
Okay. Well, it's getting late in the podcast here. I've got to go soon, Harley.
All right. Well, we can make this the last one if you want.
Okay.
I just wanted to give a little update on, my mum. Long-time listeners will know that my mum had an abusive partner who threatened her with a knife, and my little sister had to call the police, and as a result of all of this domestic violence they had to move across the country, and my sister had to come and stay with me for a couple of weeks. My last couple of weeks that I had with Angie before she went to the States was spent with a 10-year-old sleeping on our floor,
essentially ruling out any sex.
Well, yeah, more or less. We just only had that last day, pretty much, and so yeah.
In case you're wondering, he's single now.
Yeah, if you hadn't listened to episode 101 or 102, I have been dumped. It's just
any correlation?
It's actually just gone.
You put together the dots.
It's actually just gone my 1 month anniversary.
That's good.
And so yeah. The point was that he has pled guilty.
Yeah.
So that means that my sister doesn't have to testify or anything like that, and he's pled guilty, and he is now going to be going to jail, and they're sentencing him soon. And I think I heard that it could be anywhere from 1 to 7 years, and he's got a record for violence, so probably it'll be more like closer to 7.
Well, it's really good that justice is being done. I think it's great that your mum and sister don't have to testify in court, and I'm just glad that they got out of there as well. So, not really all's well that ends well, but a positive outcome ultimately.
Yeah, well,
we hope.
Could definitely be worse.
Yeah.
Could definitely be worse. All right, well, look, if you want to wrap it up, that seems like a pretty good time to me.
Yep.
The things that you can do to help us, facebook.com/Guy and Harley, hit like, go to YouTube, search Pigville and the number 2, and you'll find us, and just hit subscribe and watch some of our videos. Listen to this podcast on there if you want. You can also support us on Patreon, patreon.com, and search Pigville, and you can support us, which really does help us. And the other thing you can do is you can go to your nearest movie provider and see if they have I Survived a Zombie Holocaust available on there. It's available internationally, and you should go and watch it if you haven't seen it yet. I Survived a Zombie Holocaust. It's on iTunes and all those other places.
Also, I should probably just quickly mention, I'm not sure if this podcast will be up in time, but tomorrow evening I will be doing a talk with the Directors Guild about low-budget filmmaking, the trials and tribulations, what I've learned, And
so that's the 21st, Wednesday the 21st of June is when it is.
At the Ponsonby Long Room.
Oh, so it's tomorrow.
It is tomorrow.
Should I come to that?
Yeah. I mean, it is for the Directors Guild.
Does that mean I can't be your +1?
I'm not sure. I actually don't know how it works there. But possibly. We'll need someone there because otherwise it's just, like, if you're not there, it's going to be pretty empty.
Well, you should find out if I can come or not.
Yeah, I should double check that one.
Just don't tell my boss.
Right. Don't email him about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and, you know, in this podcast, you found out all about those trials and tribulations. But for these people, I'll be dropping some fucking knowledge. So, kind of looking forward to that, except I've just found out it's not a Q&A format, so I actually have to prepare.
Yeah, and I have shared this on the Facebook page as well, facebook.com/GuyandHarley, so there's an event there.
If you want to learn about some low-budge filmmaking from the ground up, we got you, homie.
All right, so on that note, thank you very much for listening. We will see you next week.
See you later.
Now show me wax on, wax off. Hey.
Wax on, wax off.
Wax on, wax off. Hey, wax on, hot. Wax off. Hot. Concentrate. Look at my eye. Lock a hand. Thumb inside. Wax on, hot. Wax off, hot. Wax on, hot. Wax off, hot. Wax on. Wax off.
You've been listening to the Guy and Harley podcast, proudly brought to you by Pigville Productions.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.